Welcome back to Psych Vids. Today, we're asking a big one. What is burnout? I mean, we all say it, right? I'm so burnt out. But what does that really mean? Because, it's way more than just being tired or having a rough week. And getting the real definition? Well, that changes everything. So, just how common is this feeling? Well, to really get our heads around it, we gotta start with the sheer scale of the problem. Turns out, if you're feeling this way, you are definitely not alone. Not by a long shot.
Get this, a recent study found that a whopping 77% of workers said they've experienced burnout symptoms at their current job. 77%. That number is just massive, and it tells us something really important right from the get-go. This isn't about you failing or not being tough enough, no way. This is a huge, widespread thing. It's a sign that the way we work might be what's broken.
All right, so to really figure out what's going on, we have to get past the buzzword. Let's actually look at the journey this idea has been on. I mean, how did it go from just being an observation to a real, official concept recognized all over the world? So this whole story really kicks off back in 1974. A psychologist named Herbert Freudenberger was the first one to put a name to this state of complete exhaustion. He called it burnout. Then, fast forward to 1981, and Christina Maslach comes along with this game-changing research that actually gives us a way to measure it. And all of that led up to 2019, which was a huge deal, because that's when the World Health Organization officially classified it, putting burnout on the global map for good. And here it is, the official definition from the World Health Organization. They say it's a syndrome conceptualized as resulting from chronic workplace stress that has not been successfully managed. Okay, let's break that down. The key words here are chronic, so long-term, and unmanaged. But the most important part? They call it an occupational phenomenon. What does that mean? It means it's about your job, your workplace. It's not a medical condition you have. It's a problem rooted in your work environment.
So what's really cool is how the WHO breaks this down into 3 core parts. First up, you've got exhaustion. And we're not just talking, I need a good night's sleep tired. This is a deep, bone-deep feeling of being totally drained, like your emotional and physical tank is just empty. Then there's cynicism. This is when you start feeling distant from your job, kind of negative about everything. That work that you used to care about, now it just feels like a pointless chore. And the third piece of the puzzle is reduced efficacy. This is that sinking feeling that you're just not good at your job anymore. You start to believe you're not effective, that you're not really making a difference.
Okay, this is a really important point. So many of us, myself included, use the words stress and burnout like they're the same thing. But they're not. They are totally different experiences, and you have to know the difference if you want to tackle the right problem. I love this analogy because it just hits the nail on the head. Stress feels like you're drowning in responsibility. Burnout feels like you've already dried up. See the difference? Stress is this frantic feeling of being overwhelmed, of drowning. Burnout, that's a feeling of being empty. There's nothing left in the well.
And if we put them side by side, the difference gets even clearer. With stress, you're over-engaged. You're frantic, hyperactive, feeling all this urgency and panic. The root cause is having too much on your plate. But burnout, it's the complete opposite. It's about disengagement. You feel helpless, hopeless. The root cause there is having not enough. Not enough energy, not enough motivation, not enough anything, really.
So, if it's not just a super extreme version of stress, what's actually causing it? Well, this is where the whole conversation flips on its head. Because the real causes of burnout, they aren't about some personal weakness. They're about the place you work.
The researchers who really cracked this code, Maslach and Leiter, they found 6 key areas where a mismatch between you and your job can lead straight to burnout. First is the workload mismatch. Pretty obvious, right? Just too much work, not enough time. That leads directly to that exhaustion we talked about. Then you have a control mismatch. You've got all this responsibility, but you have no say in how you do things. That's a fast track to cynicism. A reward mismatch isn't just about your paycheck. It's about not getting recognized or feeling satisfied, which just crushes your sense of efficacy. A community mismatch is when you feel alone at work or you're stuck in constant conflict. There's also the fairness mismatch. When you see favoritism or things just aren't equitable, it kills your motivation. And finally, a values mismatch, where your job forces you to do things that go against what you believe in. Any one of these is like a slow, steady drain on your soul.
And what this all means is we have to reframe the whole issue. Burnout isn't a personal failing. It's a warning light on the dashboard of an organization. It's a signal that the system, the environment, is what needs to be fixed, not the person.
Okay, let's bring this all home. If there's one single idea you take away from all this, what should it be? What's the one shift in perspective that changes the whole game?
It really all comes down to this idea. Burnout isn't a problem you solve with a vacation, it's a problem you solve with a new perspective on work itself. Think about it. A vacation is great, it'll patch up the exhaustion for a little while, but it's a band-aid. It doesn't fix a toxic community or a values mismatch. The real solution isn't about making people more resilient to a bad environment, it's about changing the environment itself. So maybe the real question we should be asking is, what would our jobs look like if they were designed to fuel us instead of burning us out?
Subscribe so you don't miss an episode.